Hello everyone. Today I am back with the second lecture of this series. In this lecture, we will be discussing about the Knudsen number, concept of continuum, rarefied gas theory, and fluid properties. And then we will discuss viscosity in details. So, without wasting the time, let's start the video. But if you haven't subscribed the channel, do subscribe it. तो आज हम पहले डिस्कस करेंगे नड्सन नंबर के बारे में कि नड्सन नंबर होता क्या है, उसकी क्यों ज़रूरत पड़ी है, क्या उसकी सिग्निफिकेंस है। तो आज पहले हम नड्सन नंबर डिस्कस करेंगे। ओके, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द नीड ऑफ द नड्सन नंबर। अब नीड क्या है इसकी कि हमारे पास दो थ्योरीज होती हैं, एक तो हो गया कॉन्टिन्यूम का कंसेप्ट और दूसरा होता है रेरिफाइड गैस थ्योरी। ओके, कॉन्टिन्यूम का जो कंसेप्ट है वो एक मैक्रोस्कोपिक अप्रोच है, whereas that rarefied gas theory वो एक माइक्रोस्कोपिक अप्रोच है। ठीक है, तो ये नड्सन नंबर हमें बताएगा कि कौन सा कॉन्सेप्ट हमें लगाना है और क्यों लगाना है। ठीक है, पहले जानते हैं कि ये दोनों कॉन्सेप्ट्स एक्चुअली में है क्या। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द कंसेप्ट ऑफ कॉन्टिन्यूम आई विल डिस्कस। कॉन्टिन्यूम का कॉन्सेप्ट एक पुराना कॉन्सेप्ट है और इसके अकॉर्डिंग जो इंटरमोलिकुलर गैप्स होते हैं बिटवीन द मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ द फ्लूइड्स they are not present. Okay, means no intermolecular gaps are there और जो molecules हैं they are in stacked form. So अब जब हम कोई एरिया अंडर कंसिडरेशन लेंगे तो इस कंसेप्ट के अकॉर्डिंग नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स बहुत ज़्यादा होंगे और अगर कोई मॉलिक्यूल उस एरिया अंडर कंसिडरेशन को क्रॉस या पास करके जाता है तो उससे कोई ज़्यादा इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा। सो उस फ्लूइड की जो प्रॉपर्टी है वो ज़्यादा चेंज नहीं होगी। So it means that these fluid properties will have a definite value according to the concept of continuum. And this concept of continuum is applied on the classical part of thermodynamics also. Now coming to the rarefied gas theory. Rarefied means that lesser number. So according to this theory, there are lesser number of the molecules present in the area of consideration. Also, it means that in our area of consideration the molecules are lesser, so if any of the molecules crosses the area it will affect our properties, so the properties will change. Okay, for example of the property that will change like volume, mass. Now this rarefied gas theory is applied in the stratosphere. Also the amount of matter changes. Now let's discuss about Knudsen number. Knudsen number is actually the ratio of the mean free path and characteristic length. It is a unitless quantity. Now the question arises, what is this mean free path and characteristic length? Okay, so mean free path is first of all it is represented by lambda symbol. Mean free path is basically the average path that is traveled by a molecule between the two collisions. Okay, as we all know that gases have more intermolecular spacing between them as compared to the liquids, as we have discussed in our previous class. So the mean free path of the gases is more than that of the liquids, and mean free path of the rarefied gases is more than the simple gases. Now let's discuss about the characteristic length. Basically, the characteristic length is that quantity that quantifies the total size of the our area of consideration. It can be volume also or area. Let's understand it with the help of an example. Like for this cylinder, this diameter will be the characteristic length. But for this vertical cylinder, its length will be the characteristic length. Okay. Now the significance of the Knudsen number. What does basically this Knudsen number signifies? If Knudsen number is less than 1, so it means that the characteristic length will be more than the mean free path. Okay, it means that there are large number of molecules are present in that area of consideration. So if some molecules crosses the region, there will be no effect on the property. It means that we will apply here the concept of continuum. So Knudsen number tells us when its value is less than 1, then we will apply the concept of continuum. But when the value of Knudsen number is equals to 1 or greater than 1, it means the mean free path is greater than equal to the characteristic length. So what does it mean? It means that the molecules can cross the area under consideration. Okay. So there are the lesser number of molecules present in our area under consideration. So this means that here we will apply the rarefied gas theory. Okay. I hope you have understand the concept of Knudsen number. Now let's move to the fluid properties. Today, first of all, we will discuss about the density or mass density. The symbol for this is rho and its SI units are kg per meter cube. First of all, what is density? Density is basically the mass per unit volume of any substance or the fluid. So its SI units are kg per meter cube because mass SI units are in kg and volume is in meter cube. Now for water, let's discuss at the atmospheric pressure. The density of the water first increases and reaches the maximum value at 4 degrees Celsius. At this 4 degrees Celsius, the density of the water is 1000 kg per meter cube, and then it again decreases with the increase in the temperature. So its value is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. At 4 degrees Celsius, the density is 1000 kg per meter cube. Also remember that density of the water at 20 degrees Celsius is 998 kg per meter cube. It can be asked in many competitive exams, so you should remember this value. For air, it is an exponential decreasing graph and its maximum value is at 0 degrees Celsius, which is 1.27 kg per meter cube, and at 20 degrees Celsius it is 1.2 kg per meter cube. Now coming to the specific weight or weight density, it is represented by the letter W. It is actually the weight per unit volume. Okay, so weight is in newtons and volume is in meter cube. So its SI unit are Newton per meter cube. As we can write weight as mg and volume as v, and m by v is represented as rho, that is the density. So we can write specific weight or weight density as rho g. As we have discussed earlier that density of water at 4 degrees Celsius at atmospheric pressure is 1000 kg per meter cube. So weight density will be is equals to 1000 into g is 9.81. So it will turn out to 9810 Newton per meter cube, or in CGS units, that is kgf per meter cube, it will be 1000. So force in kgf multiplied by 9.81 will give us force in Newton. Now coming to the specific gravity. Specific gravity is basically the ratio of the density of two fluids. In the denominator, we take the standard fluid. Okay. So the standard fluid in case of the liquids is water, and for the gases, it is taken as air. It is a unitless quantity as both are the units of density, so they cut each other. अब अगली प्रॉपर्टी है विस्कोसिटी. Viscosity is basically the resistance of the fluid to the deformation. Okay, so viscosity comes into the picture when the fluid is in motion. ठीक है, तो अगर फ्लूइड मोशन में है तो वो इसका मतलब shear stress को resist करेगा, क्योंकि रेस्ट पे हमने पढ़ा था कि फ्लूइड कांट रेजिस्ट एनी shear stress. बट ये रेजिस्टेंस तभी आएगी जब वो फ्लूइड कभी मोशन फ्लूइड जो है मोशन में आया हमारा. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि फ्लूइड कैन रेजिस्ट द shear stress बट इन मोशन. Now let's take one element ABCD, and due to this shear stress it has deformed. Okay, so the shear strain, as we all know, is the angle of the deformation. This is the angle of deformation. This is d theta. Okay, for for the smaller angles, that is d theta, this sine theta is nearly equal to the tan theta, which is equal to the angle itself. So we can write that tan of d theta will be equals to the d theta. And from here, this triangle A dash and C, we can see that tan of d theta is dx upon dy. So the shear strain will be dx by dy. But in the cases of fluids, basically shear strain is of no use to us. We use the rate of shear strain because these fluids get continuously deformed and their shear strain changes. So we use the quantity rate of shear strain. Okay, so we will write rate of shear strain is equals to dx by dy divided by dt. So dx by dt is, we can write it as du. So it will become du upon dy. Now Newton's law of viscosity. Let's discuss this. According to this law, the shear stress applied is directly proportional to the velocity gradient, or you can say rate of shear strain. Okay, so we can write tau is directly proportional to du by dy. If we remove this proportionality and use a proportionality constant, it becomes tau is equals to mu times du by dy. This mu is known as the constant of proportionality. This is the dynamic viscosity. Okay, this dynamic viscosity is represented by the symbol mu. Now, as we know that mu will be equals to tau divided by du upon dy, and the SI units of tau are Newton per meter square, and du by dy, that is rate of shear strain, its unit are 1 by time or 1 by second. Okay, so the SI units of mu are Newton second per meter square. But in CGS units, we know that for the tau, its units are Dian per centimeter square, and for rate of shear strain, it is 1 upon second. So the units become Dian second per centimeter square, and it is known as poise. So if we want to relate poise with Newton second per meter square, we will get 1 poise is equals to zero point 0.1 Newton second per meter square, and also note that 1 Poisely is equals to 10 poise. Okay. Now coming to the kinematic viscosity, it is represented by symbol nu. It is basically the ratio of the dynamic viscosity and density. So the SI units are meter square per second, and in CGS its units are centimeter square per second. This centimeter square second is known as stroke, and 1 stroke will be is equals to 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square per second. Now the question arises, what is the need to define the kinematic viscosity, as we already have this dynamic viscosity? So the answer is that sometimes we need to convert the dynamic parameters into the kinematic parameters so that we do not consider the force that is involved. So if we want to eliminate that force factor, we have to divide by the mass. But in fluids, density is more readily used property than the mass. So that's why we define a new term, kinematic viscosity, in which we divide the dynamic viscosity by the density. Now, the factors upon which the viscosity depends. First is the cohesive forces. As we have discussed in the previous video, that liquids have the higher cohesive forces than the gases. So this factor dominates in liquid, and the other factor is the molecular momentum transfer or diffusivity. And as we know that in the gases the number of collisions are more, so this factor dominates in the gases parts. Now we will discuss the effect of the temperature on the viscosity. So we will discuss first for the liquids. If the temperature is rising, the molecules will move away and the cohesive forces between the molecules will start decreasing. Hence, the viscosity of that molecule of that fluid will decrease for the liquids. But in case of gases, the kinetic theory of gases says that the velocity of the molecules of the gases is directly proportional to the under root of temperature. Okay, as we now are increasing the temperature, so the velocity of the molecules will also increase. It means there will be more number of collisions. Hence, the molecular momentum transfer or diffusivity will also increase. So it means the viscosity of the gases will increase with the rise in temperature. So we can say that the dynamic viscosity of the gases is directly proportional to the under root of temperature. And the kinematic viscosity, as we know that it is the ratio of dynamic viscosity and the density. And for the gases, we know that PV is equals to MRT. From here, we can write it as PV by MR is equals to T, and M by V is written as density. So density is inversely proportional to the temperature. So when we use this relation that the kinematic viscosity is equals to dynamic viscosity upon the density, we will get that the kinematic viscosity of the gases is directly proportional to the temperature power 3 by 2. So a more drastic effect will be seen in the kinematic viscosity of the gases with the temperature. Also, as we all know that from the Newton's law of viscosity, that shear stress is directly proportional to the rate of shear strain, or we can say that shear stress is directly proportional to the differential of the velocity. So note one point that the velocity profile will always be one order higher than that of the shear stress. Now let's discuss about the no slip condition. It says that the surface area over which the fluid flows have some irregularities, so the molecules of the fluid get trapped into that and are not able to move. So the velocity of those molecules are taken as zero. This is known as the no slip condition. So I hope that your concepts are clear now. So today we all have discussed about the Knudsen number, theory of quantum, and the rarefied gas theory. And after that we have discussed about the fluid properties, where we have discussed about the mass density, weight density, viscosity, and after that we have discussed about the no slip condition. In my upcoming lecture I will be discussing about the bulk modulus, compressibility, Mach number, and types of the fluid, or the classification, that is Newtonian or not Newtonian fluids, and surface tension. If you like the content, press that like button and do share it with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, kindly subscribe the channel. Also check out my new lecture series on reasoning. Thank you.